Happy Friday and welcome to In the Loop. It's so great to have all of you joining us. I know Greg has some really fun news to share with us in a moment, but for those of you who are new to the show, welcome to the show. We are live, I think, on over a dozen different platforms today. So we would love to see where you're joining us from, how your week has gone. Has it been a good week or not? And for those who are new to the show, welcome to In the Loop with Winnie and Greg. I'm Winnie Sun, longtime financial pro, CNBC council member, Forbes contributor, and host of also Level Up, which can be found on NASDAQ and a bunch of other streaming platforms. But I don't know, Greg, how's your Friday going? Has it been a good week?
It's been good. It's been long. It feels like it's been like 5 weeks packed into one, but all good stuff that's going on. It's snowing in Portland right now, which it should not be. So that part's a little bit weird, but otherwise it should be snowing in spring in Portland. But otherwise, everything is going great. And it's just always so great, to be here with everybody. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you're watching. And in case you don't know, I'm Greg Nibbler, longtime tech reporter, news reporter, all kinds of different stuff, but really here to have fun. And I've got some fun stories for a Friday to talk about and some interesting things to think about. And of course, if you've watched this show before, I've got a robot. So we'll talk about a robot too, but yay. So lots to get to today. So yeah, but it's just always, like I said, like so great to be here with everybody and so great to be with you, Winnie, and just have a little bit of fun and talk about everything that's going on, including finances, which you keep us up to date on.
That's what we're going to do for sure, Greg. But I just want to say a huge welcome, of course, to Joshua, who's joining us on YouTube Live. And big thank you, by the way. Got to say big thank you to Joshua, CrossX Fighter on YouTube Live. He's been sharing our streams, and we see him, and we so appreciate it. So thank you so much. And we have a lot of people joining us today. Patricia, great to see you on Facebook Live as well. Always a treat to have you join us. Hope you're doing well. Well, let's start out with the market, because the market's actually still open, which is kind of fun right now. And I wish it was a better Friday, but you know how it goes. The market was actually, the Dow was up over 400 points earlier today, but it gave it all back, unfortunately. It's like barely in positive territory right now. It's only up 2 points. The S&P 500, though, down 2 points, and the NASDAQ is down 51 points. So you might be wondering what is going on, right? Like, are we ever going to get a break here? Are things going to get better? Well, you remember the news that we shared in the show last week about Silicon Valley Bank? Well, now it's going to be some of a bigger problem. Sort of like the pandemic, this bank pandemic is now spreading to other parts of the world. It's not staying here just in the States. In fact, today the news is coming out about Deutsche Bank, UBS, also having issues. Banking stocks have continued to fall very, very sharply. Deutsche Bank is down, of course, in Frankfurt about the health of big banks. Are they stable enough? Is there enough regulation? Now, some people are saying that, of course, that a lot of the banks in Europe probably won't have some of the credit concerns of the banks here in the United States. And some people are saying, well, not so fast. We don't know that for sure. This could be even bigger of an issue than we're seeing that we've seen so far. And let's be honest, it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, and it's starting to unravel that bank after bank. We thought it was just a Silicon Valley Bank issue, and now it's becoming more and more banks. So we're going to follow that very closely, but just thought I'd put that on your radar. Not going to sit on that for too long, because we still have a lot of fun things to discuss, Greg. And one thing, Greg, I'm sure this is on your radar, but if it's not, as your Twitter friend, I need to make sure you know this, because starting April 1st, I know that you have a properly earned blue check mark. You were verified when it was really difficult to be verified, as was I. Well, now, Greg, if you don't start paying Elon Musk on April 1st, you're going to lose your blue check mark. How do you feel about that?
It's ridiculous to me. I mean, I just don't understand the point of the blue check mark then anymore, other than to just say, I'm paying $7.99 or however much it is. I think it's $8. Yeah. It just kind of takes away what that was meant to do, which was especially for, journalists or people who are, famous people or whatever, like celebrities and stuff like that, or people who are specified in their industry, just to, guarantee that that's who they are. So nobody's impersonating them. Now, though, it seems like this is just going to be a free for all. I feel like you remember when it first happened, where they had the blue check marks and everybody started faking being different people. You had all the fake accounts show up. I feel like there's going to be another rush of that just because Twitter doesn't really have the security to stop that. And so there's going to be other bogus accounts out there now that are going to have the blue check mark. And it's going to be even more confusing than if somebody, to figure out who somebody actually is.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Greg. And I want to say hello and welcome to Sadiq. It's great to see you on YouTube Live. See Vicky on Facebook Live. Always a treat to have you back with us. So, Greg, let's talk about this before for us to get our blue check mark. And Greg and I both have our legitimate blue check mark.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go through a lot of hoops. You had to, like Greg mentioned, you had to be a celebrity or you had to be part of a news outlet. I know you probably got yours from Digital Trends. I got mine from Forbes. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like, we had to send in a lot of verification. Like I didn't get to scan your driver's license or passport. It was like a lot of hoops to get that verification. And you had to be really, really careful that you didn't lose your verification too. So when you saw it, you knew it was legitimate. But now so many people, right, that $8 a month, credit card swipe over to Elon Musk and you got your blue check mark. But that's not all, because now Twitter is also going to be charging organizations $1,000 a month plus tax, by the way. We should mention that, right? And for every affiliate account, that's another $50 a month. It's crazy. I guess this is obviously Elon Musk of starting to make more money. Now, up until, the change, there were 420,000 verified accounts on Twitter. But, Musk is saying that the old system was corrupt. Yeah, I don't think it was corrupt. I think you just weren't making any money off of us. That's why you wanted to make a change. Yeah, call it what you will, right?
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, just thought I mean, like, I have, in full disclosure, I have actually signed up for the new Twitter Blue, and the reason is because I had it in an older system, but it does allow us to post longer form video, and for what our purpose, that sort of made sense. But it irks me that this whole Twitter Blue, Legacy Blue thing, I think it's just not cool. But
I think those two things could have been separate. Like keep the check marks its own thing, because it's just, it's security to know that you're looking at somebody who's legitimate. But then also, have the paid thing for posting more video. Like give some value to that. That's great.
Yeah, because we can post longer video and we can edit tweets too, which is kind of nice. I like that.
Yeah. But separate,
right? Keep it separate, church and state. So more news. I think this is also helpful. So number one, you got Twitter Blue. So we know that, right? Now, for those of you watching, or if you drive one of these cars, or you know someone who drives one of these cars, make sure that they know this, okay? If you drive a Hyundai or a Kia, and specifically like some of their SUVs and minivans, you really want to pay attention, because about 570,000 plus Hyundais and Kias are actually being recalled. And not only are they're having safety issues, but people are telling them not to park their cars in their garages or too close to their house, because they're saying you want to park this outside. Not only outside, they're also saying away from structures until necessary repairs are done, because these cars, I guess could have a potential fire, is what I'm reading in the news. So potential fire, so they're saying just be very, very careful. And if you own one of these cars, it just makes sense to go on their website and check to see if your car is affected. But this is like the Santa Fe plug-in hybrid and Santa Cruz, Kia Carnival, things like that. But yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of recalls lately.
It's a lot of recalls for sure. All right. Well, I got one last one, Greg, and then I'm going to throw the baton over to you, because this one I think you all will enjoy. I had to share this because, this was on Twitter, and I just thought it's the funniest thing. Okay, so for those of you who have flown in the last, 10, 15 years, there's something called TSA, where it's not a fun thing, but you got to walk through a metal detector, and sometimes you have to take off your shoes. Sometimes you get to not, depending on your status, right? If you have global entry or all that stuff. Well, here's the thing. This was shared on Twitter. Let me ask you this. Do you think that peanut butter should be counted as a liquid or a solid?
No.
Because what do you think, Greg?
It's a solid. It's got to be a solid.
I think it should be a solid as well, right? So because if it's solid, then you can take it in without worrying about the 3.4 fluid ounces rule that liquids need to be in. Well, sure enough, so there was a passenger. He's like some podcaster, and I guess he went through TSA with a jar of Jif natural peanut butter, and he found out that in fact peanut butter is considered a liquid.
I mean, you turn it upside down, it's not going to come running out. It's not a liquid. It's not a liquid
Yeah.
in my book. I count
Well,
that as solid.
right. And so my other question is this, because I heard that like water is obviously liquid, but if you freeze it and it becomes ice and you take it through TSA, it's considered a solid. So are you
Really?
saying that we should like freeze the peanut butter before you go to TSA? But of course, the other question is, why are you taking peanut butter
I was
to
just going to say,
TSA?
yeah,
I
who needs
mean,
to bring that much peanut butter to the airport? But yeah,
yeah, I'm sure the place you're going to, most places, I'm hoping have peanut butter. I remember wanting to go to Italy and there was peanut butter in Italy. So, I mean,
yeah, that part is odd also. But yeah, that's so strange that they're getting peanut butter as a liquid. Yeah, that
it's so
doesn't make any
weird.
sense to me.
It
No,
doesn't.
absolutely not.
Yeah, but Greg, I mean, this was all I have for today, and I just thought it was a fun Friday episode.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and I don't, it's been kind of a slow week too in tech, but I've got some fun stuff to talk about and to let everybody know about. So the first thing I've got has to do with something that we heard about probably over a year ago, and it's Google Immersive View. So this has been promised by Google to be rolling out for a long time, and now we're finally starting to see it actually come out, and they've announced that some specific cities are going to be getting it, including LA.
Cool.
But this is for immersive view. And I actually tried it out this morning. I went and looked up the Golden Gate Bridge on Google Maps, and it's pretty amazing what they've been able to do. So this is kind of taking everything that Google does and combining it all into one. So you have, the regular maps, you have all the, topographical different versions you can do with that. You've got street view, and then you have all of these pictures that also people have uploaded of different places, particularly landmarks. To put all that together, you get to basically, it's like you're flying over wherever it is that you want to go see. And then you can zoom in, you can get a 3D, like full 360-degree view of different things. You combine that with, you can get live traffic maps. You get all kinds of different, information about where it is. You can use this on your phone and it'll like overlay things over the top of what you're watching. Yeah, you can add in dragons if you want to. Or, you can get information like about where it is that you're at. And some of this stuff has been in like piecemeal before, just in different ways that Google's been using it, but now it's all coming out together. And so the cities that are getting it, like I said, I think LA is, a few European cities, New York, San Francisco, and then slowly it'll roll out to other places. But there's already some landmarks out there too that you can go look. So that's why I mentioned the Golden Gate Bridge. You can go there and do that. Yeah, it looks like we got one right there. So yeah, in LA, New
Oh,
York,
cool.
San Francisco, and Tokyo. So those are the ones that it rolled out to. But
I'm
yeah,
definitely checking that out.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Like even if you just have a second later on today, just to go in and mess around with it a little bit, go to some of those places. Buckingham Palace. Yeah. There's been some 3D places out there already that you can go to. And this is just kind of expanding upon that and adding more stuff. So like, say you want to go to a landmark, but you can get up, fly up into the air over it, see what traffic is like in real time around there or where parking is. And then you can also have a function where you can change the time of day. So you
Oh,
can
wow.
see what it's like, okay, maybe I'll go there at like 7 p.m. or versus 4 p.m. What's it normally like? So yeah, pretty amazing stuff that's coming with that. Yeah, there's some, that are completely, you can go inside these places and get yourself a tour. So pretty cool. And I just think everybody should, take a second and just play around with it and see if you like it or not. But yeah, going to airports, train stations, totally like it's just going to be a fun way to and a useful way, I think, to start using maps just in other ways that we haven't used it before. So I
Absolutely.
wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, I love that, Greg, because just imagine if you're driving somewhere that you're not familiar with, right? And you want to check the weather, or you want to check the road conditions, or you want to check some like how busy. When like I could think of like one great example, you could actually scope out Disneyland and see how busy it was before
Yeah,
you made the drive, right?
yeah, totally. So there's just all kinds of stuff that you can do. So yeah, so that's finally people are starting to see it come out. This, like I said, Google was talking about this a couple of years ago. Slowly getting to it, but now
Good job,
now
Google.
what's that?
I said good job to Google.
Good job, Google. Yeah. Starting to see it out there. So
Vicky's
pretty.
loving it for London Call, she says.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool. So give that a shot and take a look there, and you can find out more information about how everything's going to work. Okay, so we've got Google Immersive. Then here's the other thing, another thing that I wanted to bring attention to. We're talking about AR right there. We'll go to VR and something even more immersive, and that is working out in virtual reality. So we've seen some things like this before, but this is a new one coming from this company, Omni. And so what it is that it's like, so you have this little tracker thing, this little pad that you put up in your living room, so it doesn't take up a lot of space, right? Because previously with VR, anytime you wanted to set it up, you had to get those towers, and then you have to make sure you don't run into a wall. And for a lot of times you do still have to do that. But with this, no need to worry about that. So this looks like so much fun to me. It also looks completely dorky, but I do want it anyway. Just that you're attached to to the thing in the back. So, you've got this free range of motion, again, full on sprint. This just looks like a lot of fun. So it's called the Omni One. So they have a commercial version called the Omni Pro VR. This is the Omni One. It's designed to be compact, so you can fit it into small spaces. It's got they're going to have 30 different game titles when it launches that are going to be part of this as well. The pricing's a little high. This thing's a little expensive. It's going to start off at $2,595. Why they didn't just go $2,600? They had to save the $5 off. I don't know, but $2,595 is what it's going to start off at. So, this may not be for everybody for these, like, as it's being introduced, but once this technology starts, if it takes off and more people start using it, I could totally see getting one of these. I would 100% do it. I would just not let anybody ever come over and watch me, though.
So I don't know if I agree with you, Greg, on this for once, because, I know We Fit had something like this. And I feel like anytime you have to wear stuff to work out, I feel like it's short-lived. Like,
it's not going to last.
Yeah, I just think after a while, you're just like, because I even read this, like somebody was talking about some sort of suit and they would wear this suit to work out. But after a while, this felt so much effort to like put this on and put this on just to get your workout, like 15 minutes of assembly just to start. Then you might as well just go outdoors and start running.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
And what if you and like technology goes bad and gets old so quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not sure about this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think, if they do enough iterations of it and they get it down to a lower price, maybe. But yeah, I could totally see what you mean by that. I could see, eventually, if this is my workout, having to put that on. And then, okay, one question. Now I'm thinking about this with you. What happens when you get all sweaty and you're still using all this stuff? That's
right. That guy was wearing a shirt. I'm not sure that's like a good example of this.
He was wearing the shirt, but it was also weird that he had like a whole group of people watching him.
Right. And they were like clapping when he was working. Yeah. That was weird. But
good job, bud.
Yeah, maybe like, how when you go to the gym and they have these workout machines, if it's like that where you can just like plug into it and then like you can do everything, right? But you're not having to put this on and that on and this on. I'm thinking it needs to be like that. Like literally you could be in your shorts and your t-shirt and you can just like step into something and it's already ready to go. But I think the more you're requiring people to put on, the more it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Vicky's like, eek. I'm with you. I'm thinking. And Patricia says, yeah, I'll stick with my step aerobics, right? Like Patricia, that's a great point because with step aerobics, you just need to step, right? And then you're good to go. But like, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Like things don't have to be on you. I just feel like that.
Yeah.
Flying board.
These are all good points. I think the game seems fun. I like that idea.
Yeah.
But then again, now that you're getting me down this road, I'm like, oh, do I really want to be running while I'm playing a video game? No, I don't know how to do that, so. And
you want people to see you, like clapping, go Greg, go Greg.
Yeah. Everybody has to watch me play my game.
Right now.
Yeah, that's the strangest part of the whole thing. But well, that's out there now. So it's another kind of iteration of this for working out. So working out in VR and running in your living room. Okay, it does seem kind of weird now. All right, I'd have one more thing though. One more thing for today. And, I have to bring in a robot. And this is the latest iteration of a robot. It's called Digit. And it's from Agility Robotics. And so this is going to be another kind of robot that can work with you in the field. So this is more looking at like the commercial side of robots. So they're kind of showing, how they've created this over the years. It's kind of a neat, montage of where they've come from. This looks very similar to like the Boston Dynamics robots. It's similar to what Elon Musk wants to do with the Tesla bot, but this is much further along than the Tesla bot, at least as far as we've seen. So this is another one of our future coworkers right here.
Wow.
Yeah, they're looking at it for that whole purpose of being in, commercial settings and in warehouses and having them do jobs that are dangerous or very harder for humans to do, or that's not really necessary to have a human, haul these things around. You can have the robot do it. That's what they're being marketed for, is to do that kind of work. So this is their version. The humanoid kind of form factor. It's got LED eyes on it as well. So these are, and we've seen several companies working on this that are putting these out there. Amazon in particular has been having a lot of that going into their warehouses, where they're going to have more robotics going in there. But yeah, some examples of what it could be doing. That's like the futuristic city or whatever's going on there. But yeah, Digit. So there is the robot of the week.
That's cool. Digit's cute and very stylish.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it's one of those things too, where we're just going to have to, whether you like it or not, we're all going to have to kind of get used to the idea that this is going to become much more normal, that we're going to see more robotics, and especially humanoid looking robots slowly are going to start rolling out into warehouses and doing, some of the dangerous job stuff. I think that's great, that humans shouldn't be putting themselves at risk, but there's always a catch-22 with it, but it's happening. So there you go.
But you know how much work it is, like when you move houses, right? Or move apartments.
Oh, man.
And right. And it's like, you have to hope that you get good movers, and then it's like stressful. Imagine if like literally a homeowner could just have a couple robots, and the homeowner could just walk around with the robot, unplug things and have the robot move. I feel like there should be moving robots like ASAP, because I think that's a huge need right now.
I love that. Yeah. Robot, pick up that couch and yeah.
Pick it up. Yep. Move in apartments right now. Move my fridge. Let's go.
It's all to get the robot butler. That's what it is. Yeah. As soon as it does laundry, then we're good. But
for sure.
But there's a robot anyway to kind of round out the week. So that was what I had for this one. But lots of good stuff coming up too here over the next coming weeks. I think we're going to get some more product releases. Apple maybe having an event. So lots of things are going to be going on soon. But that's where we're at. And it's always so nice to be here with everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg, for being here. It's fun. Vicky, and it's so nice to have Vicky back too. And Linda, it is so great to see you. I guess Linda is saying that we met in 2015. So welcome back, Linda. It's so great to see you here today. And thank you so much for joining us on LinkedIn Live. So awesome, Greg. And, just once again, a congratulations to you on the new program that you have. And and we're very, very proud of you. And actually, on that note, since we have a minute before we close off here, I want to put a day on everyone's radar if you're around, especially since Linda's here and we see Vicky here. April 11th. Okay, April 11th, CNBC event, and we are collaborating once again. I will be speaking at Women and Wealth. So it's a free event. It's virtual. If you're around, please RSVP. Tell Winnie you. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, there we are. And there we are. See? I mean,
that is so cool, Winnie.
Thank you, Greg. So if you're around, definitely sign up. We'd like to see you. It's totally free. And I've been to so many of these events. I've spoken at so many CNBC events. Let me just tell you, they're my favorite events. They're so engaging. Everyone's super, super nice. So thought I put that on the radar. But with that, I mean, I don't know, Greg, you having a great weekend? Because I hope that you have an incredible weekend. I'm looking forward to having a few days off.
Yes, I like that as well. That is what I am also looking forward to. And I hope everybody else has a great weekend as well. Everybody who joins in, we just appreciate all of you who tune into the show and share it and comment and be a part of it with us. So thanks to everybody.
Thank you to everybody. Yeah. And if you do share the show on social media, make sure to tag at Greg Nibbler, at Winnie Sun. And that way we can properly thank you on the show. We truly appreciate your time. And we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Bye.
Take care.